Good afternoon, guys. This is Paul from the Woodswalker School of Self-Reliance channel. As you can see, we've been out picking some blackberries. The last video I made was on the berry basket, the Appalachian berry basket. So I put it to good use, went out and picked up a bunch of blackberries, and today we're going to be making jam. I'd like to explain to you real quick. Everybody always asks me what the difference is between jelly, the difference between jelly, jam, and preserves. Whenever you're making jelly, basically you're just taking the fruit and boiling it down into a juice, and then you take that juice to make the jelly. When you're making jam, you take and you mash the fruit up to make kind of like a paste where there's a lot of pulp and fiber from the fruit in the juice, and you use all that pulp and fiber to make the jam, and you come out with a lot thicker consistency whenever you finish the jam. Now preserves is a lot like making jam. One second, let my grandfather clock go off. Okay, so preserves is a lot like making jam. The only thing is when you finish grinding up all the pulp and mashing it all up, you add in some heavier chunks of the same fruit into the jam in order to make the preserves. Okay, so that's the difference between all three. And like I said, today we're going to be making jam. You can see over here to the side we've already made a few half pints. We're going to be making some more, and I'm going to walk you through it, and I'll get right back with you. Thank you. Alright guys, so the first step in making this is to go ahead and wash your fruit, which you've already done. Any kind of debris or insects or anything like that that's in your fruit, go ahead and get all that stuff out and have some good clean fruit to start with. We've got our fruit already sitting here clean, and what we're going to do now is we're going to take and mash up this fruit. And I just take a potato masher and start working your fruit. Mash it up, stir it around, and I'll take and I'll mash this, and whenever I get it to the consistency we need, then I'll get right back to you, and I'll show you what we're looking for. Alright guys, so we've got the blackberries mashed up pretty good. You can see about the consistency that we got here. You know, it's just kind of a watery paste, you might say. Now we're going to need to get 5 cups of this into our measuring cup here. This is a 4-cup measuring cup. So I'm going to go ahead and ladle it out here and try not to make too big of a mess so I don't get a whooping. And I'm already making a mess. Alright, right there's 4 cups. I'll go ahead and add this to my pot. I don't have to splash it around too awfully much. Hopefully I got 1 more cup left in here. If I don't, just have to mash up some more berries. And that's pretty close. That's pretty close. So next we put this on the stove to cook it up, and I'll get right back with you. Alright, so I've got the blackberries on the stove here, and we're going to have to bring this to a rolling boil. I'm going to have to put in 1 teaspoon of butter, so let's go ahead and put in a little pat of butter here. All this butter is for is just a help to keep it from foaming up whenever it comes to a rolling boil. And then we're going to put in 1 pack of Sure Gel, and this is the name brand Sure Gel, and that's the one I recommend using. It works out really well. So we're going to put 1 pack of that in there. Now we're going to stir it up. I'm going to go ahead and put my stove top on high so it can begin heating up. We're just going to stir this in really good. That's pretty good. Now we'll let this come to a rolling boil, and whenever it finishes, we'll get back to you. I'll tell you one more thing before I cut out. You should have already had your water boiling for your water bath when you started, so because it takes a while if you're using an electric stove. If you're using gas, it heats up pretty quick, but it's hard to control the temperature in gas. So if you're using an electric stove, put your water on early, and I'll explain to you later how much water you need for that. But I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'll show you the progress here in just a minute. Alright guys, we got to a rolling boil here. Now I'm going to add my sugar in as I continue to stir. My sugar's not set up. There we go. And once I get all this sugar in here, we'll bring it back to a boil, bring it back to a rolling boil, and then we'll boil it for exactly 1 minute. Dump the rest of the sugar in here. Alright, so we'll let this boil for 1 minute, and then we'll get right back with you. Alright guys, so I've got the Blackberry jam. It's off the stove now. It's finished cooking. Now I'm going to start filling up my jars. So I'm just going to take and ladle out some. Got a funnel here for my jars. I'm filling 1/2 pint jars here for my jam. I just want to fill it to about the bottom of my funnel, and that's far enough. Okay, and go on to the next one. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on these two, but before I put the lid on there, I want to take and wipe off any excess jelly that may have, or jam that may have splashed onto the top of the lid. I want to wipe it off real good so we'll get a good clean seal. Sorry if there's a glare on here. That sunlight's coming through that window. Hope you're able to see this. Now, I've got my lids over here. They've been simmering for a little while, so I'm going to get them out of the simmering water. Got a little magnet here to help me pick them up. I'll just set them down on top of the jar like so. Try to center them up a little bit. Just like that. And I'm going to put these to the side and get these ready for the bath, and continue filling the rest of them, and then I'll get right back with you whenever we get that done. Alright guys, so got my jars over here ready to go in the water bath. I need to go ahead and put the lids on them. You don't want these lids real tight. Just want them kind of snug. Just want your lids kind of snug. About like so. That way they don't explode on you in the water bath. Now, get the jar lifter. Pick your jar up and gently place them into the water bath. Sometimes you got to place them where they'll sit just right, so they don't tip over. Okay, now you can already see I've already got the water bath loaded. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We've got 10 half pints in there. So I'm going to go ahead and set these down into the water bath. Just let the cradle down in there. very gently. You can see it's already at a boil. I'm going to cover it. And we're going to let it boil for 10 minutes. Let it boil for 10 minutes and I'll get right back with you. Alright guys, so that's the 10 minutes. So it's time to go ahead and take these off. So you see that water's been boiling really well. Turn my timer off. I'm going to take my jar lifter. I'm going to go ahead and lift this cradle up out of here and take the jar lifter and lift each one and move these cans over here to the counter where we can work on them. Whenever I do that, then I'll get right back with you. Alright, so back with you. We've taken these out of the water bath. They're still extremely hot. The good thing is all of them have already sealed. They started sealing as soon as we picked them up out of the water bath. They started sealing, so that's a good sign. I've got some back here in the back that have already cooled down and sealed, and you'll see here we've dated and put the product, what it is, on top of it. That's important to do because when you put it in your cannery, you can always rotate your stock. So make sure as soon as it gets to where you can handle it to go ahead and date it and label it. This, you can see here, the jam, this has been sitting out for a little while, and it's already beginning to set up a little bit, but it can take up to 2 weeks for it to fully set up, so you just got to be patient with it. It's good to eat right now. There's nothing wrong with it right now, but in order for it to fully thicken and set up, it can take up to 2 weeks. So anyway guys, I've enjoyed making this video. It's been a lot of fun. Make sure and like and subscribe to my video. I do have a Facebook page up right now, and we've got a camp coming up the 26th through the 28th of September. So go on my Facebook page, Woodswalker School of Self-Reliance, and check out the camp. And if you're interested in attending, we'd love to have you. And thanks for all your views, and we'll get back to you with the next video. Thanks.